Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Tennessee goes out, takes care of ETSU 72-17. They got in, they took care of business. For the most part, they stayed relatively healthy. Look, they started fast. You went out in that first quarter, you jumped on top of ETSU 24-0. Tennessee scored on 4 out of their first 5 drives. You had 3 touchdowns, a field goal. You also had a punt, but that punt, man, gave you a little opportunity to go out and work special teams. You pinned ETSU on their own 3 defensively in the first quarter. ETSU has 7 yards and 0 first downs at halftime. Tennessee on top 48-7. They had scored on 8 out of their 10 drives. 1 6-play drive resulted in that punt. You also had the fumble, right? That was a bad snap from Sam. Joey knows he has to fall on that. He tried to scoop it, tried to make a play, tried to be a hero. Joey knows he's got to fall on that. Hopefully we don't see that moving forward. Again, against ETSU, you give them 7 free points. Against Georgia, that may be the type of play that costs you a football game. Defensively, at the half, ETSU has 10 drives, 5 of those 10 drives resulting in a 3-and-out, 72 total yards, 1.4 yards per carry on the ground. ETSU's first down was on their 6th possession with a little under 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. And look, the only points they had in that first half coming off of that fumble, bad snap. Tennessee did pretty good in that first half. Starters come out to start the second half on defense. Didn't like that drive. ETSU went right down the field, resulted in a field goal, but for the most part, after that, all the young guys come in. Look, Jake Merklinger, Jack Van Dorsett both have their first touchdowns as Vols. You set the all-time record for scoring in a game, 72 points, breaking the record from a year ago. Josh Heupel's 32nd game at Tennessee where they've rushed for over 200 yards. 10th game in his career at Tennessee with you have over 600 yards of total offense. Now through 2 games, I think this is a key stat. This is a big stat because Brent Hubbs over at VolQuest has talked a lot about how this football team has to be better in the red zone. This season through 2 games, they are 15 of 15 in the red zone, 100% for this offense in the red zone. Max Gilbert nails home his longest career-long field goal, 53 yards. And I get it. Look, it's ETSU, right? It's ETSU, but you went in there. You did what you were supposed to do. You took care of business. You got the dub. You played a ton of young guys, including all three quarterbacks. We've had a night to sleep on it. We've had a night to process it. This is the day after, and we're going to talk about it. Before we get into it, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me right down there below the video. Just smash the thumbs up. It's quick, free, and easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's the fan call-in show, members only stream. Make sure you are a member. Hit the join button down below. It's only $1. That's it, $1 a month. You get access to the Sunday show. Come hang out with us tonight at 7. Monday morning, 9 a.m. Myself and Eric Kane at VolQuest.com and Locked On Vol is going to be going live. Also, Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, we play EA Sports College Football. We talk all things Tennessee football the entire night. Wednesday night, Talkin VAWLS live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Friday morning at 10 a.m., myself, Fal Ming, and Coach Jay going to get you ready for kickoff. But let's get into it. You can see the merchandise scrolling across the screen there, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. But let's get into it and let's talk about this ETSU game. And I guess start by, man, let's just keep it simple. Let's pull up the box score and take a look. And again, transparency, man. It's ETSU. I get it. It's ETSU. Dauber said it last night on the postgame show. You can only play who you're scheduled to play. So what do you want me to do? I get it. It's ETSU. Held them to 216 total yards. Tennessee, on the other hand, 717 yards. How many times in previous coaching tenures at Tennessee have we seen them go in against a team like ETSU and struggle, right? They can't move the ball. They're sloppy. They're lazy. And I get it. Josh Heupel said this team was sloppy yesterday. I hope he demands perfection from his football teams. But me on the outside looking in, 717 yards, that's pretty dang good. You held them to 49 yards on the ground, 1.8 yards per carry. You rushed for almost 260 yards, 5.4 yards per carry. Just dominated the box score. But let's kind of talk about it here. I want to start with Joey Aguilar because I think a lot of people have gone from questioning Joey Aguilar to thinking that Joey Aguilar is going to be the savior of this program, the hero for this program. Joey Aguilar is going to lead us to the promised land, going to get us back to the college football playoff. 23 of 31, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So the big question mark for everybody when Joey transferred, they looked at his App State stats. They didn't watch a single game. Maybe they watched that Clemson game. A lot of people overreacting because they watched that Clemson game. But they look at the stats, they look at the numbers, they say, all right, this guy throws a lot of interceptions. Well, clearly. Did you care to go look and see why he threw a lot of interceptions? Because through 2 games at Tennessee, a goose egg, 0. Competition level is about to increase this Saturday in Neyland Stadium, but I think we can all see it. Even against Syracuse, even against ETSU, Joey Aguilar sees the field well. He scans the field. He goes through his progressions. He'll start right, go left, sometimes come back right. He'll check down to his running back if he needs to. Completed passes to 6 different receivers. Should have been 7 if Bishop holds on to the ball. And that brings me to the point that he'll check down. He'll check down to his running backs. If the deep shot's not there, he'll check down. He'll try to make a play. Deshaun Bishop catches that. Then Joey threw the ball to 7 different receivers. We've also seen that he's not afraid to throw it up. Gunslinger, right? Late in the first half, points for somebody to go deep or playing backyard football. Just go deep. I'll throw it to you. He chucks it up. I have no idea who he was throwing it to. Looked like he was throwing it to Travis Smith, but instead Mike Matthews goes up, makes the grab, 53-yard touchdown. We had a big debate about that last night on the postgame show. Was that a good throw? Was that a bad throw? Obviously, you had the big mistake from Joey. Sam with the bad snap. Joey's got to fall on it. He knows that. Clean that up. Get that fixed. You gave ETSU 7 free points right there. They started a drive on their own 5-yard line. Got to clean that up. Also got to continue to clean up the high throws, the drops, right? And we went through these last night. First quarter, you had a high throw to Braylon Staley in the end zone. It goes through his hands. You had Bishop wide open out of the backfield, right to him, just hits him right in the hands. He just drops it. You had another high throw to Kitzelman, again, through the hands. I mentioned this last night, second quarter. Had a crazy high throw out of bounds. I was listening to VolQuest after the game. They were talking about how the DB jumped the route, and they feel like Joey was like, all right, I'm starting to throw this, but I see the DBs all over this, so I'm going to throw it high, get rid of it. So that's a good miss there. You had a slant to Braylon Staley, hits him right in the breadbasket. He drops it. So that's, to me, that's on my count. That's 4 drops. 2 of those 4 were a little high, a little hot. Got to continue to clean that up, and I think we're going to see them continue to clean that up. I thought Mike Matthews, Chris Brazzell both looked the part yesterday, both over 100 yards for the day. Mike Matthews, for the first time in his career, had 6 catches, 111 yards and a touchdown. Chris Brazzell, 9 catches, 125 yards and a touchdown. Braylon Staley added 5 receptions. Kitzelman, Rad Jackson both had 3 receptions each. You had 13 players on this football team register a reception yesterday. So I think you continue to clean up, the miscues between Joey and the wide receivers. And I think they have the opportunity to be really good. I think most people are in agreement with Joey Aguilar at quarterback. This offense is quickly starting to look like that 22 offense. It's starting to look like it's supposed to look. I think maybe this starts to push some of those questions about it being Alex Golish's offense away. We're seeing what this thing's supposed to look like when you've got a veteran guy that can process the field, see the field. How about that offensive line, man? 2 games, 0 sacks allowed. Also rushing the football for 246 yards per game through 2. I get it. It's Syracuse and ETSU, but just do what you're supposed to do, and that's what they are doing. Star Thomas, 12 carries, 69 yards, 3 touchdowns. Bishop, I thought that was a weird deal. Deshaun Bishop comes out, starts the game with a 50-yard run, busts that thing wide open. Only got 2 carries after that. I don't know what happened there. Only got 2 carries. I thought Dwan Morris, Justin Baker both looked really good for freshmen out there. Morris had 48 yards and a touchdown. Baker had 37 yards. The big question for this offensive line moving forward, do you start David Sanders against Georgia? He doesn't play against Syracuse. There was no news of that. Nobody had a clue of that. He shows up in pre-games in street clothes. You find out he had a stinger in practice. That's what's being reported on that Wednesday. They say he should be good to go. It's precautionary. Should be good to go for ETSU. Turns out he's not good to go. Misses the game again. What do you do against Georgia? Do you roll a true freshman out there against the Georgia Bulldogs? And if you do, what do you do with your offensive line? Do you slide Jesse Perry back into left guard and then move Wendell Moy over? Or Jesse Perry into right guard, move Wendell Moy over to left guard? Or you just roll with this offensive line that's been pretty efficient through 2 games? Now, Falming brought it up last night on the postgame show. Maybe you rotate Dave in every few series just to see if he's ready. Does he miss the complete game? Is there more here to the injury than we expect? That's what Coach Jay's narrative is. That's what he's running with. Maybe that's what's going on here. Is David more injured than we realize? I think another question you got to ask as we move into Georgia week is, what do you do with Boo Carter, right? Back on the field this week to return punts. We've not seen that yet. We've seen him working his way back, starting in fall camp, working his way back to the practice field, working his way back to working with the ones, right? We saw him working with the threes in scrimmage number 2. Boo Carter has yet to start a football game for this team. He had yet to return punts until yesterday. And man, oh man, you see why we want him out there returning punts. 4 returns, 94 yards, 23.5 yards per return. That's flipping the field every single time you touch the football. Kept waiting on him to break one, man, and he was close. He was close. Also added 3 tackles on defense from that star position. Does he start at star? That's the question. Does he start at the star position against Georgia? I'm curious to see the PFF report from yesterday. See how many snaps he actually played. Because you got Ricky Gibson, Jamal McCoy obviously out. Do you lean on Ty Redmond, who's been a heck of a corner? Also, Colton Hood has been a heck of a corner. You lean on those guys, but do you rotate Jalen McMurray in there? Do you rotate him around at corner? And maybe Jalen starts at star. Ty Redmond and Colton Hood start at corner. Maybe you go out, you play a couple of series, you give Ty a blow, you move Jalen McMurray to the outside, slide Boo Carter in there at star. Then you give Jalen a blow, let Ty come back in. Then you give Colton a blow. Figuring out that rotation is going to be interesting as the Georgia Bulldogs come to town this coming Saturday. And that is it. It is officially Georgia week. It's time to find out what this football team is made of. Yes, they've looked the part against Syracuse. Yes, they've looked the part against ETSU, but the Bulldogs come to town on Saturday, and that's when it gets real. We're going to find out what this Josh Heupel football team is made of. Fowl said last night, if you lose this game on Saturday, the season isn't over. It's not over. You still got a lot to play for, still got a lot in front of you. But if you win, you've got the opportunity. I said you're playing with house money, and I get that. You are playing with house money, but you've got the opportunity to go and do something special because every team on this schedule is beatable, including Georgia coming up on Saturday. Right? We saw it. We saw it last week. Alabama gets whipped by Florida State in week 1, 31-17. After that game, after Tennessee's game, we see that ESPN FBI shift. The analytics, the data, it all points that the Vols should win every game left on their schedule outside of Georgia. This week, we see Coach Golish, we see USF go down to the Swamp, come out with the win, 18-16, game-winning field goal at the end of the game. We see Georgia struggle against Austin Peay, but they get the win 28-7. How are you guys feeling? How are you feeling about the rest of this year? How are you feeling about the way that Georgia looks? How are you feeling about the way that Alabama and Florida look? I believe that Tennessee can beat every team on this schedule. Tennessee can run the table. Now, will they? I don't know. What are your expectations upcoming Saturday? Does Tennessee take care of Georgia? Is it their time? Is it time for Josh Heupel to get that last monkey off his back, beating Georgia? That's the only one of the big 3 that he's not taking care of. He also has to go on the road and beat Alabama, go on the road and beat Florida. He's got to do all 3 of those things this season to do something special. But I think every team remaining on this schedule is beatable. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, do me a favor. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. It's quick. It's free. It's easy. It helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. So if you dig it, subscribe, come hang out with us. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.